Greetings, scrappers, scrappets, recyclers, planet lovers, everybody else. Scrappy D here with another video. I decided to put this one up. This is an old Acer computer. I have had it up on eBay for 1 month. There are no nibbles, there are no offers. I've already spoken to the vintage computer shop. He doesn't want it. They're fairly common. So it's being scrapped. Not for lack of trying, guys. I don't have the room. I don't have a warehouse. You know, there was no reason it shouldn't have sold. It's a very clean computer. People don't have room, guys. So I have a box of this nice clean ribbon wire. I am going to put that up for sale. It's super clean. These computers in general, this whole palette I got was super clean. But because these are in such good condition, you can see they're not dried out or cruddy. I've also got this going in there. That won't be priced very high, just really enough to cover my shipping and my eBay fees. But yeah, we're going to put those up for sale. Been a day, I'll tell you. Weather was actually nice out today. I'm just putting all that vintage ribbon wire into a priority box. When I get it filled, I will I'll sell it. I don't need to get a lot for it. It's just some of this stuff I know you can't get, so if I can put it up for sale and somebody can use it, I'm always glad to do so. If not, I always go to the scrapyard. This is a real crying shame, guys. I mean, I couldn't get anything for it. Nobody, not even an offer. So, on the other hand, I mean, this came off a palette of beautiful computers. It really did. And it's a shame that I just don't have the space or the room to hang on to things like this. I don't have it. I think a month on eBay was more than enough time to put videos up. Yeah, and so I'm gonna part it out, because for me that's just the most logical thing to do. I'm gonna try and save the case. I think I'm gonna find the same thing. I've got a dozen computer cases that I picked up free that I've been trying to sell for a month. I don't have a store. I don't have a room. People are strapped, guys. Financially, people are just in a world of hurting right now. So. And it's a shame. It's just a real shame. I'm not happy about having to scrap this stuff, believe me. But honestly, I can do better selling the boards and the RAM and the gold chips and everything else. So that's going to be the next step. What I'll do is I'll try and pull the board whole. See if we can part it out. I have no way to test the power supply. I have no way to test any of the computer. You can see how clean it is. This was an Acer P133 16 megabyte. That's all it says. Most of these computers were from the 1990s. I mean, look how clean this is. These computers saw very little use. They got pulled out of an office and they got left sitting. I am going to take apart the hard drive because of data recovery. I think what I'll probably do is I will get a price on how much it will cost to wipe this. I don't imagine it's too expensive. It is in very good condition, but I would have to have it wiped and then see about reselling it at a later time. You know, it's time and money that I just don't have. I have time. Lots of time. Nothing but time. All right, let's see if I can get this. If I can get this out without destroying it. I got a little bit done today. A couple trips over to the storage bin. I did get my live up this morning. I was happy about that. But I want to get this. I have this, and once it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, I just I've got to clear the space. It's really a shame. I've tried everything, guys. I've tried Marketplace. I've tried eBay. I've tried whatnot. You know, you name it. I've tried it. This computer's been up for sale for a month, and I mean not even an offer. I'd have taken $100 for it and been happy. But didn't even get an offer. There's a key that goes to this computer, and I do not have it. Shit. I'm going to try to get that cover out without destroying it. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Let's see. Sometimes you can push these things through, but you have to have the cover off to do it. All right, let me turn this. Let's see if I can free the motherboard. Now again, my problem is this is untested. If I can get this out, I should be able to sell the motherboard with all its components on it. I have 20 of these in the basement, the exact same board. Boards are great. These boards are great for board recovery. The date on this computer is 1995. I'm looking right at it. 1995. They're slow. You know, nobody wants it. Nobody wants them. I have to take this case off. I really didn't want to break the case. I still don't want to break the case. Let me see if I can... Sometimes you can unscrew them, and sometimes there's a screw inside here holding the faceplate on. I think, unfortunately, what discourages people is the damn shipping. You know, I know for me, that is a very large deterrent when I buy and sell. I'm not opening another storefront though. I don't want it. I just got rid of my office. My music school I closed. I don't want the hassle of a brick and mortar anymore, you know. I'm gonna be 66 years old next weekend. I like being home. I really do. I enjoy that. It's lonely and it's quiet, but you know, it's home, and I like being home. Usually. Some days it ain't so easy. You guys know that yourself. Alright, that's it for the case. She's broken. And again, the thing is look at how many of them there are for sale. And then go and look at the sold listings, and you're just going to see. You know, there's just too many of them. There's a glut. Nobody wants them. They're slow. And, you know, you just can't really get replacement parts. You can try. You know, people like me will... No, I do sell parts for replacement. But just like anything else, you know, I keep them for so long, and then they're going to get scrapped. I have to. I do feel a pang of remorse. I just want you all to know that I feel deeply panged. I probably won't feel pinged when I get paid, right? I really didn't want to break this. I still don't want to break it, but I don't think I can get it out without it. There's a screw down here. It just doesn't want to give in. a lot of the stuff. See, the stuff that I took apart and sold, I sold. The stuff I took apart, I sold. The stuff that we kept and didn't take apart, I haven't sold. So for me, I tried. I came, I saw, I tried. I conquered monkey scrap. Yes, I know the haters will comment, and that's fine. Go ahead and comment. If you're so worried about me wrecking a vintage computer, you should have bought it. I don't feel good about it, but I feel worse when I have no room in my house and I have to go pay to store things that I really don't need. So, like I said, I think a month was a good solid effort. I watched the analytics. I put it up on my channel. You guys all saw this. You know, we did everything we could do, and that's it. Done with it. Not like those MIPS computers where they were like the last ones on the freaking planet. That was insane. That was the most insane thing I ever saw in my life. I already know I'm going to wind up taking that tower apart that I had on my live this morning. That's not going to sell. Nope. I already know it's not going to sell. And if it does, yeah, it'll be for somebody who lowballs me so bad it isn't even funny. I didn't take anything off of it. I left it together. I put everything up and I put it up for sale. And, you know, if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, well, give it a month and then it gets scrapped. The only people who I think really want things like that are people who are maybe in an educational program. They want to do their own build-outs because it's fun. There's a lot of people who don't want digital. They want analog for security reasons. You'd be surprised. But, someday the digital age will come crashing down and they'll be looking for computers like this. But in the meantime, what are you gonna do? I mean, you think about it, you know, you need a computer this size to do your daily activities now. We all run around with iPhones. So things change. We have to change with them, I guess. Huh? A little bit tired. I didn't sleep well last night. And of course we had the time change. Spring ahead, fall behind. And right now my body thinks it's 8:30 at night and it's not. It's 7:30. 7:30. I did though. I got a lot of stuff over to the storage bin. This is the last day I'll have my truck for about 10 days. Old Big Red's got to go in and get the door fixed, which is the other reason I had to sell a lot of this stuff off. You know, I'm going to pay for it out of pocket. What do we got in here for a motherboard? Probably a 386, a 486. I'm going to try to get it out without taking the components out. If I can sell the complete motherboard, that wouldn't be so bad. Question is, can I get this out? The light in the kitchen is not the greatest. It's good during the day, which is why I go on a lot during the day because it's very bright in the kitchen. But this time of night, not so much. I've got the basement set up, and I moved a lot of the stuff down there. I should be able to get down there to my old workshop. I hope next week, but I've got to do something about the lighting situation. You know, we get older, you need a lot more light to see what the heck you're actually doing. And, you know, that's the point I've reached. I got to get some better lighting down there. It'll be good though because I can I can leave the mess on one side of the basement, and the other side of the basement can, you know, be used for my lives and blogging and all that fun stuff. Come on, baby darling, you know you want to come over. Yeah. See what happened when I broke the screw? I broke this post off inside. Ah, crap. So, hope everybody had a nice All Saints Day. Went to Mass after my live this morning. I usually do my live early enough that I can scoot over to 11:30 Mass, which is what I did today. The priest did a really nice job with the ceremony. Really did. They had, they just did a lot of nice things to commemorate the Feast of All Saints. And, really nicely done. I cried. I didn't expect to. I really didn't think I was going to. I didn't even think twice about it, but they played. I spent a lot of my life in the music ministry, and as a minister of music at many parishes, I played the organ and I sang. And that was a good part of my life for almost 50 years. I'm going to be 66, and I started in that as soon as I was able to drive. I got involved with that. I think I'll keep this like this, and if I sell the computer board, I'll send that along with it. This is broken. This I broke. It wasn't broken, but I broke it, taking it apart. So that'll get scrapped. I was going to do this live, but you know, how much of yourself can you stand seeing on the channel? Feast or fib, and I was gone for a while. Now you can't get rid of me, huh? But I wanted to do this as a video. It will be on my YouTube channel as well. I do like to. I'm going to keep the zip drive as well. So if I'm able to sell the boards and stuff, I may try and sell these. These are clean. I can't test them, but there's not a speck of dust on there. I mean, I know when I got them, they were in a shrink-wrapped pallet. So they were certainly cared for by their former owner. This guy collects everything. He's really a collector. Just reminded me of an episode out of American Pickers. I love that show. Well, I guess this is okay after all. If it doesn't sell, see, this is an excellent source of gold, although I can see these pins are somewhat bent. They don't look right to me, but that board is great for gold recovery. This board is great for gold recovery, and so is this. They come out of the vintage computers, and they're IDE connectors. You've heard me call them non-SATA connectors. That's not really accurate. I grabbed the wrong one, but anytime you see a ribbon wire like this connected to something, that's usually an IDE connector, and a lot of times there's gold on both. Sometimes there's only gold on the component and not on the ribbon wire. But definitely, if you see that old ribbon cable like that, you definitely want to take it up and have a look-see to see if there's any gold in it. See, this one didn't have any in it. But they're the old, they're the old connectors are what we used. So now we're at a point, everything's out of the way. I can take the motherboard out. I'm going to try to take the whole thing out without stripping the components. If you heard me say it in my last live, or in my last video, a lot of times on some of these computers, not so much the stock motherboards, like this is really a stock motherboard, but on a lot of the cards and stuff, there's chips missing And I got into it, not into it, but I had a buyer a couple weeks ago. And he says, well, I want to buy that, but you took all the chips off it. I said, well, no, actually I didn't. It came out of the computer that way. They'll print the circuit board, and then who's ever designing the computer will add the components onto the board that are needed. Same thing when they build a server or whatever. You know, they're going to only put on what they need. They don't want to spend money. So this board looks completely complete. Completely complete. This board looks completely complete. I don't see any issue with this. Let's see if I can get it out. And I think I'm going to be successful. Oops. Be a lot more successful. I took the damn screw off, huh? These boards sell as a large plastic socket motherboard. I think they're $7 or $8 at board sort, and they weigh between 1 and 2 pounds. They're really good for gold recovery, guys. So that's lifted out nice and easy. I'm going to sell the board just like that. I am going to check for MIPS chips. I don't think I'll find any because this is an IBM. VRAM Stealth 64. Lots of good gold recovery on that down the road if it doesn't sell. I don't want to pull these because I don't want to damage the prongs. That's an Intel board. Intel was involved with this whole thing too. And then, actually, this is when Intel was in its heyday. It was right after this. These computers came along a little bit later. The vintage computer, like the MIPS computer and the big tower that I've got. That tower was a robotic controller. I'm still doing some research on that just because it's fun and I like to look up things and study things. But they were 1991, according to everything that I've been reading, was really quite a year in the development of the PC. And I know as a musician, you know, we had the Moog synthesizer during the 60s and 70s, and they were huge. They took up a whole wall. And then as the 80s came in and they started getting your 4-track, 8-track, your reel-to-reel. So I saw that kind of an evolution even in my own profession. Things got smaller and smaller and smaller. And, you know, same thing happened with computers. So this is the board. As I said, I am going to leave it. This is gold fingered RAM because there's gold here. So there should be gold here. I'm not going to take it out. I don't want to damage it. I'm going to sell the board whole. Yeah, got an Intel Pentium ceramic on it. I'm not going to take it out because I don't want to damage the pins. And I am going to try to resell. I can't resell the fan because I cut the wire trying to get it out. But it's a nice, people call these purple chips all the time. It's an Intel Pentium. It's a ceramic. There's gold pins all the way around. I don't know if there's gold cube in here or not. I have to look at one of my other ones to see. But I'm not going to remove it. I don't want to damage the board. So, you know, this entire board I would probably sell for $150 with the RAM, with the CPU, just like it sits. You know, I was asking $250 for the whole computer, and couldn't get it. Didn't even get a nibble. And for me, it's just not worth it to pack it and ship it and everything else. So anyway, that board is for sale. It is it'll be in my eBay store, well, probably tomorrow or the next day. I think we said this was an Acer computer. I don't know why Intel got into so much trouble. I mean, every one of these old computers, they all had Intel chips. I mean, Intel was the go-to back in the day. And if the board doesn't sell, I'll pull the ceramic, I'll pull these, I'll pull the RAM, and I'll sell the board. So, we'll see how we do with that. Let's try to flip this. I'm going to show you the bottom. See the gold? See the rich color of this? This board has a lot more gold and copper than some of the newer ones. That's why it's so rich, like an emerald green. I don't see a name on this board. Obviously, it's got a lot of Intel stuff on it. Intel Pentium processor. Intel 1992, 1993. So this was just after that big tower and the MIPS computers. So this when these guys came along. Pretty cool stuff. I hope you enjoy this. As I said, I feel very bad about taking this computer apart, but I gotta make money and I gotta have room, and I think a month on eBay was more than enough. So this is step 2, sell the whole thing like this. Step 3 is to scrap it. Scrap it out and sell the parts. E-waste is, even these were copper on these computers. A lot of these now, they're just tape, they're copper. And sometimes you'll get brass risers here. These are brass. Brassy brass. And, you know, I'll keep the case. Yeah, I busted the cover. Sorry, Charlie. But I don't think it'll sell. I really, really don't. I'll put it up there, see if somebody wants the case. But I can't imagine they would. They didn't want the whole computer for $150. Why would they want the case? Or $250 rather. So I don't hold out a lot of hope for the case being sold either. But anyway, so this is an Acer computer. Has a port for a mouse, video cam, video, battery, and a modem. You got mail. Logic PC cards. Acer PP133, 16 megabytes of gold-fingered RAM. All right. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I did just want to show you. You know, again, that's the board in its entirety as it came out of the computer. 16. So these are 4, 8, 12, 16 gigs of gold-fingered RAM. And again, if the board doesn't sell as a complete unit for $150, the next step will be to scrap it. I mean, these here, I'm really thinking about selling the whole collection that I have. I saw a set go on for like $1,600 the other day, and they got it. And it was, I think my collection is probably bigger. I just don't know. You know, part of me says, oh, hold. It'll go up. But the other part of me says, well, strike while the iron's hot. What goes up could come down. I just don't know. I don't think any of us do. I think I'm doing well reselling vintage scrap to people who do gold refining. That's my niche. I mean, I'm tempted to try it, but, you know, scrapping Irish says it best if you don't know what you're doing. Stay away from it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. I'll see you during the week sometime. I hopefully will be live next Sunday, but I'm not sure. That's my birthday weekend, and probably depends how drunk I get Saturday whether I go on live Sunday. No, I'm kidding. I don't drink to excess. All right, so that was scrapping an Acer computer, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.